Hey, welcome back to my channel Techie Blossom. You are watching another video on animation in a mobile app using Flutter SDK. Believe me, this video will teach you tricks which you can utilize while creating a complex animation in Flutter application. That can be like floating in multiple items in a list one after another, or define entry or exit sequence of widgets on the screen with subtle animations that improve user experience. The idea is taken from Dribble, where the designer calls it Peasant Navbar. I am glad that I was able to achieve 99% of this design without much complex code. You will be able to achieve this animation at the end of this video, so make sure you watch this video till the very end. I have structured this video in 4 sections. First, you will watch the Dribble video few times to understand what is in the demand. Then, you will see the bird eye view of the existing layout structure in the application, especially the center icon in the bottom app bar. Then, you will see how and where the new menu with 3 items can be inserted. I will explain how the menu gradient should be created so that it merges well with any background. And lastly, you will see how we can animate icon and the menu sheet all together. So let's get started. This video is sponsored by App Circle. Build your apps, distribute it to testers and upload it to app stores, all automatically with quick and easy setup. You can find 1 month free coupon code and link in the description box. So here is the video from Dribble. When I click on this plus icon, the menu comes from below and it comes like a little bit sliding animation, and there is a beautiful gradient attached to the sheet of this which slowly merges with the background, right? So it has a gradient which fades off as it goes towards the top. So, and these 3 items, the first element comes first, the second just little bit after that, and third one comes at the end, and they all come with a slight animation. They all have text and the image. So this is about the animation that you will be achieving in this video. Now let's understand how our existing application looks like. So this is a simple structure where there is a scaffold, you can see, and then there is a grid. Here in the safe area, here you have a stack and then you have a grid. This grid is again coming from packages, building blocks, and then in the source you go export, and then there is a grid. This grid is just a representation of some UI that I want to show. I will use this in future videos as well. So it's abstract for you right now. This is a grid. On top of that, there is a position widget where you have a bottom app bar. Now with the name itself, you can say that the bottom app bar is this one, and it is positioned from bottom. It is 0, which means it is attached to the bottom. It is attached to the left hand side, attached to the right hand side, and has a height of 90. And then there is a this bottom app bar. I have used safe area because I want this to be attached to the bottom of the screen, even though there is a notch. Now this is the app bar again, the common app bar from packages, building blocks. Let's see what's there in the bottom app bar. So in this bottom app bar, I used bottom app bar directly. This is a material widget basically, and then the color is coming from the theme itself, whatever you define on the top of your scaffold. Like here I have defined bottom app bar theme, colors is white and elevation is 0. So that's why the elevation is 0 here. So the color will be taken from bottom app bar theme, and elevation will also be taken from bottom app bar theme. Now in the child, I just have this row, okay, where I have 1, 2, 3, 4 icons, which is this one, and this one, and this one. Now the center icon is the most special one for us because we want to click on this icon. We want it to be a bigger icon, and that's why its alignment is little bit also starting from little bit more down as compared to this icon. Okay, so this starts a little bit more down towards other icons. Then there is a click on handle of on tap of click. We will do something. We will animate this. Okay, so that callback is written here it will be filled when I add controllers here. Then how I created this plus icon. So there are two ways. I could have used an icon which already has a rounded add icon. But in that case, I could not rotate it properly because it will rotate around its axis and its axis is not at the center. So I used a different approach. This is a container. Again, inside the container, my child is icon. So container has an icon size which is bigger than other icons, and the starting color of this is some reddish color and the icon color is white. Icon size is this one and big icon size is little bit bigger. I think it's exactly double. 30 is icon size and big icon size is 50. So this is how the center icon is created. And now we will understand how we can add the bottom action menu list in this existing UI. So let's see that. So now we will create bottom bar action row, which looks like this. The output will be this. Now I am not showing how to create this. I am telling you how it is created already for you, so that we can directly jump onto the main part, which is the animation part. Although in this part also you will understand how this smooth gradient is created so that the behind screen is equally visible and equally not visible. So let's understand how this is done. First of all, these are the three menu items, each one of them representing this item, and this item. I have named it as data set. Now in this bottom bar action menu row, I have a row where I have main axis size max so that it takes whole width. Then this is the main axis alignment where I have given it to take space evenly around as well as in between. Okay. Then I have this children where the for loop is there, which loops over through the data set and creates an icon button which has an icon and a button. This data set tells what text will be there and what icon will be there. Now I want to show this menu in between of the grid and the bottom app bar. I will use this item in a stack, and because I am using it in a stack, I can use position widget. In this position widget, I have given it height as 180. I can change its height as well. If I give 280 height, it will increase. Okay. If I give 180, it will decrease. So it looked like that it didn't decrease, but it actually increased. It went down because the top position was fixed. So if I am increasing 100 height here, then I will have to reduce it from the top. Then only you will see that the height is increased. Okay. So currently the expanded parameters are height is 180 and top position is 500. Now if I make it 800, this will go away. So these are our two entry points, and you might be wondering how this gradient is created. I have used a decorated box. In that I have used a linear gradient. Now I could have used only two colors, but I went one level ahead where I have utilized opacity, and gradually I have decreased the opacity. So at the bottom the color is white, then little bit up the color is white with opacity 0.8, then 0.5, then 0.35, and then 0.005, which is almost fully opaque. Okay, fully you can see the background. Now the stops are also very important. I wanted half of the space, half of the gradient to be utilized by the white color so that I can see the icons here, right? So I started from 0.55 and gradually increased 0.55, 0.65. These are the stops. So basically, if this is the height, 0.55 till 0.55, the white color will be there. Then from 0.55 to 0.65, the color white with opacity 0.8 will be there. And then from 0.65 to 0.75, the opacity will be 0.5. And like this, I have reduced the opacity with dynamic stops, and I have started from bottom center and ended on the top center, which means that I have started from here and ended here, somewhere here. So this is how menu row item is created. Okay, Now we will see how we can animate this whole thing. It's very nice. I will show you with controller how this will be coming up slowly and slowly. So let's move to that part. Now the bottom bar action menu row will come in middle of pgrid and the position widget, which contains the bottom app bar, which means that the bottom app bar is on top. Then behind that, this bottom bar action menu row is there, and behind that the grid is there. Now we'll start with the animation. So first you will add the duration, which is 1000 milliseconds. Then you will use the controller here to control every animation of these items, like this coming from bottom to top and this rotating, everything, color changing as well. First of all, we will animate this plus icon. Okay, only that. Then we will go to the menu item. So to do this, we need to rotate this plus icon to cross icon. So we will rotate it by some degrees. So for that we need a rotation angle animation, right, which will have a double value. We will divide pi with this number, whatever controller gives us that number. Then we need to change the color as well of this red circle. So we will have a center icon background color animation, which will hold again two values, which will be the initial value and the final value. Then we will also have a center icon foreground color, because when the red icon becomes slightly grayish, then the color of this plus icon becomes black. So we need to change that color as well. Now to apply animation, you also need to have single ticker state provider mixin, provider state mixin. Now when you use its animation controller, you have to initialize the controller in animation controller and dispose it in the dispose method. So let's initialize this. Now we need to give value to rotation angle as well, and again we will use tween of double, which will start with 1 and end with 4. You will soon understand this value. Then we will animate this, and the parent will be our controller. After rotation angle, now we need center icon background color tween. So begin this with you can copy the color from this bottom app bar. What is the default color? And then the end color will be EA, and then it also needs animate, because then only it will return the animate object. These both can be const. Now similarly, you can have a foreground color where we can use colors.white in the beginning, which is current state, and colors.black, which is the end state when it has been rotated. Okay, so this is a minimum setup for rotating this plus icon. We need to now, because we have controller, we will use the controller, so we have to wrap this stack in a animated builder. Needs a builder, and we generally name it as a child. Now in this specific case, we will use controller in this widget, we will use controller in this widget. So only widget that does not utilize container is this one. So we can safely remove this and put child here, and we can return this whole child from here. And what will be the child then? It's our old friend pgrid. This child will be supplied here with the help of this method. Now this needs animation, so controller will be our animation. So now we need to use these three values in bottom app bar. So let's pass the values from here. Okay, now we need to define these three values in the bottom app bar widget. Define them with the help of constructor and make them required. Now instead of this color, you will use the center icon background color, and here you will use center icon foreground color. These have to be nullable colors. Now once we click on bottom app bar, the callback method will be on center icon tab. So we can add a body to it. If our controller is completed, then we have to run the controller in a reverse direction, and if it's not completed, we will run the controller in the forward direction. Now if I hot restart the application and I press the plus icon, the background color and the foreground color is now changed, except now it is not rotating. So we have not utilized the rotation angle as of now. So we will do that. We will wrap the container with a transform dot rotate a widget where the angle will be. We will utilize the math library here, math.py/rotation angle. So in the initial state, it would be 360 degree, which is original, math.py by 1, and then when the controller starts running, the value will change from 1 to 4, so it will become 90 degrees. So now when I press, you can see the cross icon is now animated. So we have done half part. We have animated the cross icon, but we have not animated this list. It is always visible. So let's work on that part, which is the last part. Okay, so first let's start with the height of this item. So for that we will declare another animation, which will be bottom bar action menu top position, because we are playing with the top position. And then below this you can say bottom bar top position, and you know the two values that we have to toggle in between. So the initial value will be 800. This can change as per your screen size as well, so you can dynamically assign it as well. And the end value will be 500. So basically when the list, when this item is down, its beginning position, its top position is 800, somewhere here, and when it is shown to the user, its position is somewhere here, 500. So we will animate this using controller. Now we need to pass bottom bar action menu top position to this widget. So we will pass it like this, top position. Add this field as one of the field variables for this widget. Final top position. It is similar like we did with the bottom app bar. So now we need to use this top position. Instead of 500, we will give top position here. Now one thing here, we don't need to wrap this position widget in animated builder, because we are already doing it here. So it directly already is a child of animated builder. So we need not write animated builder again here, even though we are trying to use this value. So now if I run it, if I click on this plus icon, this row has come in from bottom like this. Okay, it's nothing near to what I have shown you at the start of this video. So what will how it will work? So first off, two things we need to do here. First, we need to add a curved animation to it, which we will add at the end. But we need to also see this item should come in first, then this, and then this. It should be a floating animation and not a one shot animation. So for that, we will wrap this P icon button in a slide transition. Okay. Now slide transition needs a position, which is again will be defined by a tween. It's an animation value first of all. So we need to define a tween of begin and end value, and then we need to write animate like we have done before in the main.dart file, and then we need to use the controller. Although we have not passed the controller here, but we can pass the controller later on. So first let's create a controller here as well. We will use the controller which we have defined in the main.dart file, and we'll pass this from here itself. So the controller's value, suppose it's 0.5. The bottom bar action menu row will also get the 0.5 value. Suppose it's 0.6 in between the animation. So this action menu row item will also get the 0.6 value. And this widget will work on that value. Now we need to utilize this. So it needs a offset. I mistakenly wrote double. So now it needs an offset, which means what is our initial value? The initial value will be 0, 0, which means that it's starting from 0x and 0y, and let's say it should start from 0, 1, so that it's below its original position. The original position is 0, 0. So when our animation ends, we want that these three items should come at their initial position. That's why the end value is 0, 0. And they should start from 0, 1, which means they are not in the screen. So let's run this. Again, the same reaction, right? All of them came together, but with little delay, because they started from offset 0, 1 position. Now we need to add little more delay to each of these positions. We need to have y position of this ahead of this and its y position ahead of this one. So for that we will add little more offset, y offset to its position, and that would be 2 into index, which is I, which means that the offset of y offset of this item will be 1 plus 2, 3, and this will be 1 plus 4, 5, and this will be 7. So which means that in the same duration of 1000 milliseconds, this will start from 7 y offset, this will start from 5 y offset, and this will start from 3 y offset. So 1 y offset, and because of this there will be a delay in their arrival on the screen. So here we can add const because the end is common for all. So let's restart the animation, and you can see that they are coming one after another. This one comes first, then this, and then this one. Let's repeat this again, or let me increase the duration so that you can see it more slowly. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So now we need to have one curved animation as well. If you have seen that video, I will show you again. So in this video, there is a little bouncy effect. So that will come from a curve that we will now define. Its parent will be controller, and curves will be what I have tried out. It works out that fast out, slow in is the perfect curve for this animation. Now instead of controller, we will substitute everything with curved animation, so that every animation, rotation angle, background color, foreground color, top position, all follow the same curve. We will also pass this curve to bottom bar action menu row, so that it can also follow the same curve. Okay, now here as well, instead of controller, just add curved animation. Now this is final. Okay, the time was pretty slow, which could not work well for this animation. Now let's rerun it. And now the animation is perfect. So that's it from this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share across your circle. I would appreciate that. Also, if you are new to this channel and haven't subscribed yet, do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to never miss out on new tutorials. Thanks for watching the video and see you in the next one.